How would you fat shame David Lucas?
I don't think you really have to fat shame him. He wakes up in the morning, he looks in the mirror, and he's already ashamed immediately.
Yeah, by the way, no offense to fat David Lucas. He looks like shit.
Whoa, I wouldn't say that.
No offense to him, I'm just saying it how it is. I love David Lucas.
You love Lucas.
He's my greatest guest on this show ever.
Are you serial?
He was on my show and everybody loved him. They said, why would you make the joke about George Floyd when you have no idea how it can affect the black community?
Because I wanted to.
But what?
Because I wanted to.
But you don't know how it could affect black people. But black people.
I wanted to do.
But
I'm not a predator.
No, for sure.
Skip the question, bro. We ain't even finna entertain that you talking about right now, because I got children.
David Lucas. David Lucas.
Oh, you don't remember him now?
I don't remember him.
That's even more insulting to him, I feel.
Skinny white guy?
Fat black idiot.
Matan and Harland Williams are a match made in heaven. Matan has become one of the funniest comedy podcasts on YouTube. He's a modern-day Borat. All he does is troll, and if you're unfamiliar with his style, the better it goes for him, and the worse you're going to look. He got his start by trolling a gaming awards show, he trolled InfoWars multiple times, and even trolled Bad Friends. But the real comedy gold came when he had the legendary Harland Williams on his podcast. Harland and Matan combined for one of the funniest podcasts I've ever seen. They perfectly complement each other, and nothing was taken seriously. They share a common bond in their complete disregard for what's socially acceptable. But there's another thing they share. Both have had run-ins with David Lucas. Harland was one of the first people to roast Lucas on Kill Tony and actually win. When Lucas was on Matan's podcast, he was insufferable, mainly because he didn't understand Matan's style and completely bombed. Because of this shared past, Matan didn't hesitate to roast Lucas right in front of Harland, but before we dive into that, it's important to understand just how well Harland handled Matan.
Everybody, welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Harland Phillips. Welcome in. Yes. Come sit in the middle, please. Thanks for coming in. Please just... In case anybody doesn't know you, introduce yourself.
Hey folks, Harland Phillips here, and my famous father, Wilson Phillips, or mother.
Sorry if I got confused on the name. I didn't know if it was Harland Phillips or Harley Morenstein.
It's Phillips.
Yes.
Yeah, Harland Phillips. Thank you. And you are?
Martian.
Harland always understands the assignment. Harland understood exactly how to play Matan's game, and Matan obviously respects him for it. He went along with everything from the start, even rolling with one of the craziest first questions you could ask a guest.
Do you think you have a high enough IQ to join NAMBLA? Do you think you have a high enough IQ to join NAMBLA?
NAMBLA?
Yes.
I don't know. Throw a math question by me. Let's test it out.
How old usually are the boys that you sleep with?
Well, I would say nothing under 24.
So then you might not be, because that's North American Boy Love Association. So I would imagine they'll have to be little boys.
Well, I mean, even Santa loves little boys. I mean, good. Everyone loves little boys.
But Making Love Association.
Oh, Making Love to Little Boy Association?
Yes.
God, I still have my Blockbuster card. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
What is that?
Oh, Blockbuster? It's a video store. Like you go, you rent a VHS. And
but that doesn't exist anymore. You said you have a card there?
Maybe not in your mind. Maybe not in your neighborhood. But Daddy...
You have one still?
Dad, if I can finish, Daddy likes to party on a Saturday night. I pull into the Blockbuster. Daddy walks around, finds a VHS or two, takes them home, slaps them into the VHS, slaps them, just grinds them into the VHS machine. Power smithers them into the VHS machine. I'll watch that thing in reverse. I'll watch it forward. And
so you're just breaking the tapes.
Daddy gets his fingers in the buttered popcorn, and he likes his fingers buttery.
You're just destroying the tapes then. You're just making
I'll watch them,
a mess all around your house. There's just electronic pieces on the floor.
Guy, come on over. We'll mamble it up.
You've got to respect Matan's comedic timing. It's hard to make Harland uncomfortable, but you can actually see him tense up a bit with the question, like, what the hell did this kid just ask me? But Harland is sharp enough to connect the dots and throw it right back at Matan, knowing Matan was asking about Mensa, but swapped it with NAMBLA. It's tough to make either of these guys break, but when Harland starts talking about Blockbuster, you can catch Matan wiping away a smirk. Later in the podcast, Matan actually makes Harland break, which is pretty impressive, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Before we dive deeper, though, it's crucial to take a look at how not to react to Matan's style.
Do with that. That's for you, dog. Look at that. Look at that one. Oh, yeah. Put that right there.
You don't like them?
I don't give a I'm in the public image, bro. Like this will happen all the time.
So you don't mind it?
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really cancel somebody like me who don't give a
Let me ask you this. Why would you make the joke about George Floyd when you have no idea how it can affect the black community?
Because I wanted to.
But what?
Because I wanted to.
But you don't know how it could affect black people. But black people.
I wanted to do it.
But you don't know if it will offend them.
I wanted to do it.
I can't even be a predator if that's what you're alluding to.
No, Game of Thrones. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
Because I thought you were trying to.
You on some weird.
You a predator?
I'm not a predator.
No, for sure.
Skip the question, bro. We ain't even finna entertain that you talking about right now, because I got children, and that's a very sensitive topic.
The entire podcast with Lucas was cringe. He actually thought he was going to get $10,000 just for appearing on the show.
Okay.
So what about the money, though?
What about the money?
Yeah.
I would give it to you if I had some.
Nah, nigga, I'm about to call.
We could be on like
making
a perpetual team.
All right.
Yo, they ain't got the money, bro.
The camera's not. There's no camera on him.
I don't give a We don't need it to be on camera. I need my bread.
You need your bread? How much were you expecting to be?
You told me 10,000 in the text message, bro.
I would love to see it. Maybe that was Sam Hyde. He told you that. He tricked you. Because he's the one, in case anybody doesn't know, who set up this interview. Okay, let's move on. This is getting a little stale here.
So you can see why Matan doesn't care for David Lucas. He was rude, hadn't watched the podcast before, or he would have known what to expect, and he actually thought he was going to get $10,000 just for appearing. That's like giving an entire podcast revenue to the guest, maybe even going in the red, to have a guy on who was kind of funny on Kill Tony for a brief second. So with all that in mind, you can understand why Matan didn't hesitate to throw Lucas under the bus with his next question to Harland.
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think has done more damage to David Lucas's career? Me, you, or David Lucas?
I'm going to say you.
Me?
Definitely.
Yes!
Yeah, dude. You know how to party on Fun Street.
Well, I would like to take credit for that. I would just thought it would have been David Lucas, actually.
I think it's you. No one rolls around with a big puffy fatty like you do.
Like my hair?
Well, I mean, look. It's okay.
Are you referring to something else?
I'm referring to him. He's a puffy. He's like
him?
He's a big boy. Him?
You're saying he's fat?
He's a little chubby.
You can fat shame him. He's a fat pig is what he is.
That's what I was going to say, you big fat flubber beast. Why don't you go to SeaWorld and mount a killer whale and ride like you got arthritis in your fat calves, you cankle-sucking freak.
Let me see how to word that. What solution fat shaming? How would you fat shame David Lucas?
I don't think you really have to fat shame him. He wakes up in the morning, he looks in the mirror, and he's already ashamed immediately. Yeah. Imagine that guy.
But how would you fat shame him? Like, he's already ashamed by himself, but how can we add on to it?
I would probably go to his house, break in the middle of the night, go to his bed, duct tape him to the bed, strip him, and rub him down with garlic butter and maybe a little rice pudding. And just,
because he wants to start eating himself.
Yeah, that's about it.
He can't control it, but it'll be tied down. He wants to start biting his arm like an autistic who, like just stimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know David Lucas was the only Jeffrey Dahmer victim, right? Dahmer got him his apartment, ripped his clothes off, and
he's
just
the only
looked at him and
survivor?
went, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no, like a fat black woman, too.
Dahmer?
No, like the way you said it, like, oh, hell no. Like, that's like what a fat black person would
I know,
say.
but that's what Dahmer said. Dahmer, he looked one look at Lucas and he went, oh, hell no.
He almost turned Dahmer into a normal person.
It's normal to me.
By the way, no offense to fat David Lucas. He looks like shit.
Whoa, I wouldn't say that.
No offense to him. I'm just saying it how it is. I love David Lucas.
You love Lucas.
He's my greatest guest on this show ever.
Are you serial?
He was on my show and everybody loved him. They said that the only time that he was better was when you were talking to him.
Okay, David Lucas. David Lucas.
Oh, you don't remember him now?
I don't remember him.
That's even more insulting to him, I feel.
Skinny white guy?
Fat black idiot.
Someone needs to let Rogan know this is how you have a podcast with Harland Phillips. I swear this podcast is just an experiment to see which comedians take themselves too serious. Harland understood exactly how to do Matan's show, and Matan obviously respects Harland. Great episode. Harland is a legitimate pro. He knew how to give Matan his props, all while not slandering David Lucas, but still playing along to keep the show from getting awkward. If these two had a podcast together, it would easily be one of the funniest podcasts out there. Matan asked Harland who's done more damage to David Lucas's career. It was because Harland was one of the only people to completely destroy Lucas in a roast battle.
Harland Williams, what's up, dog?
What's up, my guy?
I know you need to get home. Harland Williams got to get home because he left a crock pot on.
Whoa, hey, take it easy, bro. You're the only guy I know has muffin tops on his ankles. I thought this guy had a tattoo of the Monster Energy drink logo on his stomach. It turned out to be a stretch mark. This is the only guy I know. Everyone else in the country has Lyme disease. This guy's got key lime pie disease.
Yo, this motherfucker.
You're my bitch tonight. How about that?
You can see why Matan would ask who's done more damage to Lucas, Harland, or David himself. Harland was ruthless, and David had no idea how to respond. But what makes Harland great is that he acts like an idiot, just talking nonsense like Norm Macdonald would. But underneath it all, his brain is working faster than anyone in the room. He's like those alligators that pretend to be drowning to attract a human, only to destroy them when someone's dumb enough to fall for the trap.
Take that! Got him! He missed me, but he celebrated.
Wow, what kind of pie is that, do you think?
I don't know.
All right.
Where did the pie go? It's all over the floor now. I don't know why he did that. It's now empty.
Oh.
Well, it smells good in here after that last accent you did now, at least.
I think we can expect David Lucas any second now that there's a pie on the premises.
Oh, well, he'll start eating it off the floor like the lasagna guy from earlier. It's all right there for him.
You like lasagna? I just saw a twinkle in your eye.
Not,
you a lasagna
it's
guy?
okay.
Talk to me, guy.
Nothing
you
special.
Power jam a lasagna? Will you Hammersmith a lasagna on a frosty Friday night? Oh, look at that. Suck it deep.
I don't even want to eat it. We haven't cleaned these sheets in like 2 years.
You didn't have to tell me.
No, well, it should be kind of obvious, but let's move on.
David's stomach probably took 10 minutes to sink when he saw the thumbnail. What makes this podcast so great is that these two are in perfect harmony. Matan doesn't care what he says. His whole goal is to say the most socially unacceptable thing possible. The views and interactions come from people's reactions to the crazy things he says. Harland is perfect for this kind of podcast because while he doesn't cross any lines that could get him into trouble, he brings his own unique style of humor, pulling the thread and taking the joke as far as he can go.
What should we do with loud minorities?
Duct tape them?
Yeah, we already went over David Lucas, who is a loud minority, but like another solution.
Give me an example of a minority, because there's so many. Can we refine it down to a specific minority?
No, we're gonna...
All minorities.
Indian, Mexican, black, what other minorities are there?
Australians?
Are they minorities? They're basically just white.
Yeah, but
okay.
Look at them.
That was the end of the David Lucas bashing, but the best part of the podcast, and what I mentioned earlier, was when Matan makes Harland break. It's a true testament to how funny Matan is. Matan mentions Dr. Oz, and like Harland does, he goes off on a tangent, starting to sing a song from The Wizard of Oz. That's when Matan asks a question that finally makes Harland break and laugh like he's in church trying to hold it in.
Oh, the land of Oz.
The land, like he's like a landlord?
A merry, merry land and a merry, merry place where everyone has a funny, funny face and the streets are paved with gold and no one ever grows old in that funny place called the world of Oz, you fat. Suck a blueberry pie through a Chinese garden hose and suck Free Willy's puffed out calamari ring and carry on, suckface.
Would it be considered cheating if you killed your wife before? What are you laughing at? You look like you're going insane.
I am, child. I am. Sorry, ask it again.
Yes. Would it be considered cheating if you killed your wife before? This is gonna be the response I get every time I ask.
Oh, go ahead. It's just I love murder. It cracks me up.
Okay, one more time.
Cracks me up, so kill me, fat.
That's all I got.